Good morning, class. This is your English teacher, Sir Sanjay. Welcome to the first official online classes, in fact, video classes for the session 2020-21. We were not supposed to interact the way we are interacting this year. Things should have been much better or different. You are all aware that one of the worst pandemic has hit us and has modified the way we used to meet, interact, greet, and gather. So this not only are challenging times or difficult time, but are also time to modify our way and methods through which we learn and have been learning. All right. So in the next few minutes, I shall take over and explain the first lesson called the squirrel to you. Please go through the video carefully. In case if you have any kind of doubt and all, we shall try and clarify those doubts in the Google Meet. Clear? Alright, let's begin. Let me make few modification. Here it is. The name of the lesson is the squirrel. Alright. Squirrel, as you know, it's a tiny creature who hops, jumps, skips, and does all these things. Now, before explaining you in detail, I would like to take you to my mobile screen where I'll be using a set of digital tools and then explaining you. Now, let us begin the explanation. The name of the lesson, like I said, is the squirrel. It's a hippy hoppy animal which loves to jump, skips, and live in a tree mostly. And as you know, you must have seen in cartoons and all, it loves eating nuts, fruits, or whatever is offered to it. Okay, very active sort of creature the squirrel is. So I'll be using a pair or a few digital tool to make the explanation bit interesting. Alright, so here we go. The name of the lesson is the squirrel. Okay, what's the name of the lesson? The squirrel. Okay, so let's see how the lesson starts. In the first picture you can see name of some animals and preferably the houses in which they live are drawn against each other. Alright, children, can you tell me the name of the first animal that you see in the picture? This one, can you tell me? This is a lion, isn't it? The second one, in fact, is monkey. The third animal is a fish, and the fourth one is a donkey. And what have we got on the right hand side? What is this? What does it look like? This one? That's a house, right? What kind of house? We'll find out. And what's it? It's a pond, tumbler, whatever you can call, filled with water. And this is a den where lion lives. And children, can you tell me what is the last one? Okay. Alright. Now, where does a lion live? If I ask you, what will be the answer? A lion lives in a where? Den, right? How about a monkey? How many of you can answer this one? A monkey lives in a tree, right? How about fish? Where do fishes live? Do they live on land? Can they fly? Of course not, right? Fishes survive in water. Now how about this cute looking animal? Can you tell me the name? Where does it live? It lives in its own shell, isn't it? So every animal has its own house, or we human being, if we rear them, we make them their houses, right? So let us revise this once again. We have got 4 different animals in this picture. The first one, lion. The second one, monkey. The third one, fish. Fourth one, donkey. Where does a lion live? It lives in a den. Where does a monkey live? A tree. Where does a fish live? Water. Where does a donkey live? It lives in a shed or a small house, whatever you can call, right? So where do we stay, children? Can you tell me? Do we live in forests and jungles like animal? What do you think? Where do we live? I think most of us know, right? We live in our own houses. Excuse me for a minute. Moving on. Now we have a new poem called The Squirrel, and this is where the actual poem begins. Alright. So let's read the poem, repeat after me. Okay. Whiskey frisky, hippity hop. Let me zoom it for you to see it clearly. Whiskey frisky, hippity hop. Whiskey frisky, hippity hop. Up he goes to the treetop. Whirly twirly, round and round. Down he scampers to the ground. Furly curly, what a tail! Tall as a feather, broad as a snail. Where's his supper? In the shell. Snappity, crackety, out it fell. Alright, so this poem describes the way this beautiful animal, squirrel. What's the name of the animal? Squirrel lives. It jumps, it goes up the tree to the top in a whisker. Whisker here means quite quickly, without anyone understanding. Okay. If you have seen a real squirrel, or for that matter even in cartoons, you must have observed the way squirrel moves. Very restless, quite speedy, quick, right? So the poet describes the way this squirrel moves. Whiskey frisky, hippity hop. Hop means jumping, okay, to the treetop. Whirly twirly. While it moves, it twirls his body. Means it swings in a way as if it has, quite flexible body. Of course, it has flexible body. Whirly twirly. Here describes the way this animal twirls and shows flexibility while moving around. And it goes round and round. And he scampers. Okay. And he scampers. What does he do? He scampers. Okay. So he scampers to the ground. Here we have a new word. Can you tell me which word is it? It's scampers. And what is the meaning of the word? Scamper means to run quickly. Okay. It goes up and then comes down quite quickly to the ground. Okay. Then let's read the follow-up stanza. Furly curly. Furly curly. Sorry for that. Furly curly, what a tail. If you take a look at the tail of the animal, squirrel, it's quite curly and furly, means it is quite hairy, right? So furly and curly are two words used to describe the shape and appearance of its tail. It's furry as well as curly. What a tail! Means the writer here is praising the beauty of the animal and its feature, specifically the tail here. Okay, tall as a feather, broad as a snail. So he calls its feather as tall as a he call the animal's tail as tall as a feather. You know feather, bird's wings. Broad as snail, that crawling, slow moving animal with a shell on top of its body. So his tail is even compared to the, you know, the height is being compared to the feather of a bird basically, and the width is being compared to the broadness of a snail. Have you seen snail, children? If no, I'll show you in the next slides if possible. You say, where's his supper? Where's his supper? So we have another new words here, supper. What is the meaning of the word supper? If you can see here, supper, where do we have supper? It's here. So what does it mean? A light meal eaten in the evening. Clear? Where's his supper? In the shell. Snappity crackety out it fell. So the writer in a very funny manner say, where is its supper? Where is its evening snack? Is it hidden in the tail, that bushy tail? Has it fallen down? Okay, so this is where the poem ends. Clear? This is a funny poem that describes the movement and gesture of this beautiful animal called squirrel. Alright, what is the spelling of squirrel? SQUI. Yes, write and complete it. I'm not telling you. Alright, okay, let's read it together. Squirrel spelling is SQUIRREL. Okay, it's very simple. So I would like you to learn this poem. How should you learn this poem? You should learn this poem by heart in the where? Next class. Clear? Learn this poem by heart in the next class. Keep this in mind. I'm highlighting so that you understand. Learn this poem by heart in the next class. Okay, see, this is the one. Yeah, so for your better understanding, let us read out the poem again. Let us recite the poem again. Okay, let me make this page look cleaner. Okay, here we go. Whiskey frisky hippity hop, whiskey frisky hippity hop, up he goes to the treetop, whirly twirly round and round, down his campus to the ground. Let's repeat. Whiskey frisky hippity hop, up he goes to the treetop, whirly twirly round and round, down his campus to the ground. Furly curly, what a tail, tall as a feather, broad as a snail. Where am I? I'm here. Where's his supper? In the shell. Snappity crackety out it fell. So we have three important word meanings here. If you have seen, the first one is here. I'm sorry, it's a bit blurry. Frisky. What does the word frisky mean? Playful and full of energy, right? What does the word scampers mean? It means to run quickly. What does the word supper mean? I think we have already studied. What does the word supper mean? A light meal eaten in the evening, right? So I recommend you to learn them by heart. Learn them how? By start by the next class. Okay, we'll devise a method. I'll find out, I'll check out how many of you have learned. And I'm sure most of my bright young students will complete it. Right? Moving on. So let's see what do we have in the prepare section. Sock squirrel. Alright, it's a fun activity. I want you to do it on your own. I'm here. Prepare section, sock squirrel. We'll be basically using a sock in order to prepare a squirrel. Okay, so let's see. It's an activity which you are going to do on your own. I will be following it up to see whether or not you have completed. Okay, so what are the materials required? Let's see. Materials required in order to make this sock squirrel are an old sock. I'll highlight it. An old sock, cotton wool buttons, pieces of white thread. Then what do we have? Glue, right? Glue, rubber band, sketch pens, needle and thread. But I would like to caution one thing. Since you are all young kids, none of the material listed here are to be directly touched, used by you. Okay? Even if you carry out this activity, it will be completely done under the supervision of your parents or your elder brother or sister. Okay, children? So how are you going to make the squirrel? Let's see. First of all, you have to stuff the sock with the cotton. Then what are you going to do? You have to tie it up into two places to make the head, the body and the tail. It's very simple. You got to stuck the sock with cotton, right? Then you have to tie it up into two places to make its head and the body, as well as the tail, the bushy tail, you remember, the most important part. Okay, then what should you do? Stick on the buttons for eyes. Okay, you have to use two buttons also. You know buttons, right? Those tiny things which you generally can see in your shirts. Okay, buttons. Then you are asked to draw a mouth using a sketch pen. You all know what sketch pen is, come on, don't you? Then you are asked to hold the pieces of thread to be precise, thread together and stitch them on for whiskers. Okay, then use sketch pens to color your squirrel. Okay, you got to sketch your pen for coloring the squirrel. Now form group and talk about at least 5 qualities of your squirrel. But then as far as forming group is concerned, you cannot do this at this point of time with your classmates. That doesn't mean you cannot do the same at your home. Try and do the same activity with your brother, sister, your parents, or whosoever you find comfortable doing it with. Okay. Alright, now I guess we have come to conclusion of this lesson, and I've already instructed you to completely learn it by heart, and we have some exercises following up, most of which have already been done, right? You have been given this files, prepared PDF, Word file in which this solve exercises were already given. Am I right? So try and practice some of them. As of now, I'll be showing you 1, 2 or a few of them using my highlighter. So first one says choose the correct answer. The squirrel climbs up a ladder, B pole, C tree. What will be the correct answer? I guess everybody knows it's going to be C tree, right? Try 2, 3 on your own, children. Let's see the next one now. I'll show you 4. Okay. Yeah. The squirrel's supper is A, in the shell, B, in a bowl, or C, on the tree. Where could it be? Can you tell me where could it be? Is it going to be A, B, or C? Which one? Obviously C, right? So mark these answers. Okay. And now we head on to the next section. It's called answer these questions. These ones have already been given. For now, we will be simply discussing them. At the end of this video lecture, what you have to do is open your book, go through them once again. Okay. So first question says, pick out the words from the poem that talk about how the squirrel moves. There are quite a number of words that describes the way the squirrel moves. I have already discussed, and since the answer has been given to you, I want you to do this on your own. Okay. The next one is, sorry for that. What colors would you use to describe the squirrel? What color shall we use? It's very vibrant, right? Very active. It's not dull, shy. So which colors are we going to use? Answer's been given. Try and do. Third one. List words from the poem that you like. Why do you like them? It's also another simple question. Try to do it on your own. It's not that difficult. Why I'm telling you to try and do it on your own? Because these are some sort of revision classes. The lecture will refresh your memory of the question answers that have already been provided. Okay. Okay, now moving on to the next section. It's called Perfect Poetry Appreciation. Let's read the words by zooming a bit. What are the words? The words are, if you can see, sound words, animal and their babies, short I sound, sorry for that, short I sound, and then what do we have? We have rhyming word, consonant blends, and then what is this last word? Okay, I'll just disable this highlighter. And similar words, right? Now let's read the first line. You repeat it after me. The car zoomed what? The car zoomed past, isn't it? It just speed past. Here the word zoomed sounds like the actual sound of the car, like zoomed, as it moves. So such words are called sound words. What do we call them? Sound words. Children, one important thing, I want you to learn these words. Clear? What are sound words? Try and understand. See, those words which in themselves explain the way something moves with the way they are pronounced are called sound words. Okay. Like zoomed in itself is representative of the way something moves. Okay. I guess everyone has understand. If no, go through once again and let us interact through Google Meet. Okay. The other one is, a few words in the poem sounds like action they show. Sport them. You already know that the babies of some animals have specific name. Here are some more. Okay, I've mingled them out. This also have been read already, so it's going to be easy for you. A, you do it on your own. Okay, you already know the name of babies of some animal have special name. Here are some. So let's read this along. All right, give me a moment. Yeah. So what do we have? In the first column we have animals, then we have babies, right? Which animals do we have? We have bear, lion, tiger, and what are their babies called? C-U-B, cub, right? Then we have fish. Fish, it's a bit strange, right? Some of you might be laughing already. Babies of fish are called fry. Okay, then we have dog, otter, seal, mouse, rat. They are called pup. Okay, then what do we have? We have fox, as sly as fox. There is a wise saying. Okay, so what are the babies of fox called? Cub, pup, kid, right? Then the other one, wolf. What sort of sound does wolf produce? I know that most of you already know, right? Cub, pup, whelp. Okay, then we have cow, elephant, reindeer, walrus, whale. All these animals' babies are termed as calf. C-A-L-F, calf. Okay. Then we have this high-flying, sharp-eyed bird. Eagle, quite dangerous, right? Its baby is called eaglet. What do we call it? Eaglet. Repeat after me. Eaglet. E-A-G-L-E-T. Eaglet. Right? Let's see what else have we got remaining in this chapter. Now I guess this is another very easy exercise coming up for you. Now match these animals with their babies. Got. What will it be? Shall I do the first one? What do you say? Alright, I'll do the first one. Which one? Is it this one? No, that's a wrong answer. Let's do it again. Is it this? Of course it is this one. Shall I do the next one as well? No. I think you should try it on your own. Okay, if you wish, no. You should try it. Alright, it's very easy. Okay, that's it. We will do one more exercise for today and then we will discuss what we are going to do. Okay? Then we have section C. It says underline the common letters. What does it say? Underline the common letters in this pairs of words. Practice saying them aloud. It's quite simple. You'll underline the common letters and then practice them saying aloud, like whiskey, frisky, furly, curly. Which are the common letters here? S-K-Y, S-K-Y, right? Whiskey, frisky, furly, curly, snappity, crackety, tail, snail, tree, free, ground, sound. Then you ask to come up with similar pair of more words, and which I think it's relatively easy. Okay, and now let's have a pronunciation drill. I'll be reading few words on section D, exercise D. To be precise, you'll have to repeat them after me. Okay, say these words aloud and let's notice the sound at the end. Found, found, round, round, bail, bail, fail, fail, snail, snail, sound, sound, hound, hound, tail, tail. Right? So which words in the end sound you hear in the words bound? Like found, round, etc., isn't it? Then which words end in the sound you hear in the word meal, fail, tail, etc.? Okay, so this kind of words are called the rhyming words, like found, bound, round, hound, and then meal, fail, tail, etc. Okay, so that is it with the exercises today. The rest will be followed up in the next class. Am I clear here? So now what have we learned today? We have learned quite a few things, right? What's the name of the lesson? The squirrel. We have learned the name of few animals and the houses in which they live. Then we enjoyed reading this wonderful poem, isn't it? It's about a squirrel. Then we followed on with few exercises, and I hope you all remember that I have instructed you to learn by heart the poem as homework. Make sure it's completed. I'll make a follow up. Alright. Then I gave you an additional fun homework wherein you were supposed to prepare sock squirrel. Remember, make sure you have to complete it anyhow. Alright, I'll be vying with no excuses. Remember that. Then we had a roundup of exercises where I solved few, left few for you. Since these exercises were already solved, section B answer, I haven't done most of them. Then we had some more drill. Okay, it was quite an exciting class for me. So basically, we come to conclusion of this class here. Thank you all for being part of this video lecture. Goodbye. Have a great time.